What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Three-Sided Box Prediction Center here for the NFL edition, Week 3. Once again, we are not joined by any of our colleagues due to scheduling, and I've made an executive decision to avoid all their picks. If you're here, you're making picks. If not, well, then too bad. So with that, let's jump into the Thursday night game. We got the Los Angeles Rams. Oh, and by the way, just before if you want to skip to your pick, to your team or a matchup you're interested in, all the times are listed in the description down below. With that, boom, Week 3, first game, Thursday Night Football. We got the LA Rams going up against the San Francisco 49ers. Irrelevant bowl. We're already starting off nice and fresh. What do you got?
Well, the Niners haven't scored a touchdown yet in the season, as of right now, and while the Rams, aren't necessarily the best team, I think they're pretty decent, like 500 team, like 7-9 or 8-8, around that range.
7-9, Jeff Fisher.
Yeah, around that range, and they have a good defense, and they have a good coordinator, and I really like their head coach, Sean McVay. So I'm gonna go to the Rams in this one. I really don't see any upside right now for the Niners. Maybe in like a year or two, but not right now.
I'm gonna pick the Rams as well. Los Angeles, San Fran is just this is definitely not their year. They're gonna struggle this year. It's just that I still can't get over how fast that window closed on that team. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Times when you fire a coach for no reason. So we're both picking the Rams. Let's move on to Sunday's matchups.
All right. So next up, we got in the London matchup, we got the Baltimore Ravens heading into Wembley to play the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Home of the Tottenham Hotspurs this season. And the English national team.
A.K.A. Chelsea's little brother.
Little bitch.
More little bitch. Anyways, go ahead, make your pick.
Baltimore. Jaguars suck. Next up.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Ravens. Even though Jags have a good defense, but the Ravens are just, I think they're better.
J-Mac, baby. Next game. Alright, next up we got possibly a relevant bowl 2 or 3, depending on how you viewed the last matchup. We got the Cleveland Browns heading into Indianapolis, place Johnny's Colts. Go ahead.
I'll be honest, when I first saw this matchup, I was kind of tempted to pick the Browns, but I don't know. I feel like the Colts are just going to get a lucky bounce or something to win the game, or the Browns are just going to screw up something else. So I'm going to go with the Colts in this one.
I'm going to pick the Colts too, two reasons. I think Jacoby Brissett's going to have a solid game. Andrew Luck, who knows what's actually happening with that guy, but jobs are on the line. They're trying to feel the heat. Chuck Pagano knows that, his ass could be out the door very, very soon, and they're facing the Cleveland Browns. Now, albeit the Browns could pull off a win if there ever was a win this season. I think this could be an easy one for them. Not easy one, but this could be the one. But I'm gonna go with the safer pick and pick the Colts, and I guess we'll see how that happens. So next up, my game next. Let's go. Next up, we got my matchup, home opener in Philadelphia. The New York Giants walking into Philadelphia. The link to play my Philadelphia Eagles. Big matchup, division rivals. Who do you got? I can't pick, by the way. Our rule.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles on this one. The Giants O-line is, in my opinion, I haven't seen an O-line that bad in many years. So they're really bad. And the Eagles' front seven is among the top 5 in the league, if not top 3 when they're healthy. So I'm gonna go with the Eagles on this one. I just think they're gonna win the battle in the trenches.
Fly Eagles fly, baby. Next game.
Next up, we got an AFC East matchup. We got the Miami Dolphins heading into New York to play the Jets, who are looking like the worst team in the league. So go ahead.
We already got another irrelevant bowl. It's starting to be a relevant week here in
Dolphins aren't that bad.
They're pretty irrelevant, regardless of how bad they are. Irrelevant bowl is not just how bad you are; it's how much of a contender are you. Their contendership is absolutely none. So I would place this. See, the thing is, Ravens are kind of not irrelevant, but
the reason why the Ravens aren't irrelevant is because they have a really good defense, and number two is they're probably one of the only teams that can go into Foxborough and beat the Patriots.
Yeah. But anyways, all right, I'm gonna pick the Dolphins. Somehow Jay Cutler's gonna get another free victory and kind of look like the Dolphins made a good decision, because the Jets are just really bad, and it's pathetic because that team, like 2-3 years ago, was considered.
2 years ago, they're 10-6.
Yeah, when Todd Bowles first went there, which I called they weren't going to be good because I know Todd Bowles is not actually that great of a coach. But anyways, I got the Dolphins.
Yeah, I got the Dolphins too. Jets didn't look good when they played my Raiders, and the Dolphins. They do have holes, but I do think that one of their underrated part is their defense. They have a pretty good defense, so I'm gonna go with them.
All right, well, we'll find out on Sunday. Next game. Next up, we got the Denver Broncos heading up against the Buffalo Bills, and for all the Denver fans out there, it's just a joke that they're the Denver Broncos. I actually respect that franchise, unlike some people in this room. What do you got?
Yeah. Anyways, I got the Broncos in this one. The Bills are missing Cordy Glenn, their left tackle. I don't know why. Apparently he. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if he. I don't think he's injured. I just think that there's like a strife or something within the team, or I don't know what was going on.
The team is a disaster.
I don't know. I don't know. I hope McCoy could tear them apart, but Denver's run defense definitely looks a lot better than last year, and their defense looks to be at 2015 standard. So with that being said, I don't think if the Bills couldn't move the ball at all last week against the Panthers, how are they gonna move the ball against a better defense than the Broncos? Broncos win.
Exactly. McCoy couldn't run against that team, which is shocking because McCoy's a beast. But mostly because the rest of the team around him is just.
Well, the Panthers do have a really good defense, though.
They really don't. I got the Broncos winning this one, even though my boy Shady and J Matt are playing for the Bills. Bills just suck, and the Broncos defense looks pretty fucking legit this year. So we'll see what happens. Maybe this is finally the time where Brock Osweiler comes in and gets them the W. I don't know, but regardless, the Broncos are winning it. Next game.
All right, next up we got NFC South matchup. We got the New Orleans Saints heading into Carolina to play the Panthers, we were just talking about. Go ahead, make your pick.
I'm gonna pick the Saints. Oh. They put up a pretty solid fight against the Pats, and by solid fight I mean, you know, considering you're playing the Pats and you're a bad team, it wasn't the worst game. Drew Brees is a beast. No matter who's playing wide receiver, the guy just, you know, seems to find every open guy and score touchdowns. I don't think they're gonna. This is a divisional matchup. Anything could happen, and I do still think the Panthers suck. So, Saints for me.
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna go with the Panthers on this one. I do think that their defense is very, 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 very good, and their offense will put up enough points to win this game. I don't know. I think over the past few years, I think the Panthers have just like owned the Saints. So,
let's have to buck the trend.
So I don't know. I'm feeling the Panthers this week. But like you said, anything could happen. It is a divisional matchup.
Find out next game. Next up, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers heading into the great city of Chicago. All right, to play the Bears. Now we all know the Cubbies have been the #1 team in the NL since the All-Star break in every category because of the GOATs, all right? And we also know that Chicago Blackhawks hockey is on its way back, meaning that everything will be right in the world and they will continue winning. And I'm not saying that's what I want, I'm just saying that's what's right, all right?
Yeah, what's
all
right?
There's a big difference between the two.
What happened?
I am a big Go Sens Go fan. Anyway, Steelers, Bears, easy pick.
Yeah, Steelers, but I am excited to see if the Bears could somehow make it interesting, considering the Steelers always play down to their competition. So
they do that because Mike Tomlin, I don't think he's not a good rallier of like talent and stuff like I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna pick the Steelers as well. As much as I love Chicago and its city, I don't really care for the Bears. And the Steelers have a pretty solid team. Antonio Brown, arguably one of the best, if not the best receiver in football. Next game.
All right, so next up we got what some may say one of the more interesting matchups of the week. We got the Atlanta Falcons heading into Detroit to play the Lions. Two teams that are 2-0 and two teams that are looking to prove everybody wrong. Falcons coming off obviously that Super Bowl, but losing heartbreak, and Lions with all the doubters, especially all those Packer fans. So go ahead.
I'm still a big doubter. Although Matthew Stafford's proven to be a little bit better than what I gave him credit for. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I just think he's an overpaid quarterback, thus being an overrated quarterback.
He's a pretty good quarterback.
However, this is going to be an offensive battle. It's going to be a high-scoring one, in my opinion. I think the Falcons are out there to try to prove something, where the Lions are just playing because it's the end. I mean, everything's trying to win, obviously, but I think the Falcons are really. I feel it this year that they're really gonna. Maybe not. I'm not saying they're gonna win it, but I feel like they're gonna make a push and try and say that game was more of a fluke than anything else in the Super Bowl. But yeah, so with that, I'm picking the Falcons.
I'm really tempted to pick the Lions, but honestly, I just don't see how. I mean, the Lions would cover a guy like Julio Jones. I mean, I know they do have Slade, who's a really good corner, but like, even if you do have a really good corner, it's next to impossible to cover Julio Jones unless you double cover him, and I just don't see that happening. So I got the Falcons in this one as well.
All right, next game. All right, next up we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading into Minnesota to play the Vikings. Buccaneers coming off their first game after a week 1 bye due to the terrible hurricane that struck Florida. Minnesota, another week without Sammy Sleeves. Big surprise. Broke his ankle putting on his helmet. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so as you said, the injury bug is hitting the Vikings. I think
it's just Sam Bradford.
Oh yeah, it's Sam Bradford, but also the Vikings usually do get unlucky with injuries somehow, some way. So with that being said, I'm gonna go with the Bucks. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the Vikings are just super unlucky. I mean, if they were healthy, I probably would have picked them, but I just feel like the Bucks are just healthier.
I'm gonna pick the Bucks too. I don't like the Vikings at all. And I do overall, I do feel like their team is weaker than the Bucks, even when healthy. Dalvin Cook playing against a Florida team coming out of Florida State, so maybe that will give him some added, motivation for whatever reason. Who knows? And I do think the lack of Sam Bradford's going to make a difference, mostly because leadership qualities. Because Sam Bradford, amongst a lot of things, he is a tough and strong-willed guy. The guy wants to play and he has the talent to play. He just doesn't have the durability to do it. So I think that's
their backup Case Keenum sucks.
Yeah, he's fucking awful. So Bucks for both of us. Next game.
All right, so next up we got last year's divisional round rematch. We got the Houston Texans heading into Foxborough to play the New England Patriots, who just came off a win. Actually, both came off a win. Go ahead.
It's a red, white, and blue bowl with the star.
Yep.
I'm going to pick the Pats just because Tom Brady likes to outclass people, and he does it 9 times out of 10.
Like 99 times out of 100.
It's whatever, 9.9 times out of 10. It's in Foxborough. It's in Gillette Stadium. That's Brady. If there's ever a place to shine, it's at home. So, and the Texans, a lot of questions on that offense. The Deshaun Watson, good so far, not great, and that whole Mia Khalifa thing, buddy. I don't know what you're doing. A bunch of dudes fucked her. I don't know what. Like, you could get whoever you want. You don't need to fuck a porn star, buddy. It's a curse. She's hot, but watch out, man. Anyways, I got the Pats.
Yeah, I got the Pats. Rookie quarterback in for Houston, as you said, Deshaun Watson. I like him for the future, but this is like a nightmare matchup for any rookie quarterback heading into Foxborough early in the season. It's basically a guaranteed win for the Pats, so Patriots.
And for all those that are about to tell me, oh, you're so judgmental, you're a prick, all the, who cares what she does, it's her choice, if she wants to date you, fuck you. Fuck you. Yes, I would fuck Mia Khalifa given the opportunity. Most people would, okay? I'm just saying, I would think about my future as well a little bit, so I just cool it. That's all I'm saying, just to cool it. I'm not saying do it or don't do it. I'm saying that you interpret that how you please. Next game. Alrighty, next up we got the first 4 o'clock game. We got Seattle heading into Tennessee. Seahawks versus Titans. Could be interesting. I don't think so, but that depends on how you see the matchup. What do you got?
Well, usually once a week I pull off like a random stat for a certain matchup, and I saw this week that the Seahawks under the Pete Carroll era are 2-10 on the road in September. 2-10. That's not very good. So that being said, I'm actually gonna go with the Titans on this one to win in a close one. It's not gonna be a blowout at all. It's gonna be very close, like 13-10, 16-13. One of those games. I just think they're gonna get a last-minute field goal. But at the same time, I could definitely see a Seahawks victory.
I'm gonna pick the Seahawks. Tennessee, I think again they have a good future, but I don't think they're there yet. I still think they're another year or two away from really beating the good teams. And Seattle, that offense, man, I don't know what needs to happen. Something needs to click, and I don't see a better game for them to come out and just have a good time and get a good W. So Seattle for me, Titans for you. Next game.
All right, so next up, we got do or die scenario for one team. We got the Cincinnati Bengals heading into Green Bay to play the Packers. And why? Some may ask, why is it do or die? Basically, statistically, if you go 0-3 in your first 3 games of the season, you have like a 10% chance of making the playoffs or less. So go ahead and make your pick.
It's the battle of the lettered logos. Cincinnati, that team's done.
Yep.
They're done. Andy Dalton, done. Marvin Lewis, for the
Hopefully
sake
done.
of that city, please leave. Okay? The defense,
it's like
blow
Arsenal.
it up.
It's like Arsenal. It's just like they don't want to fire their coach.
Yeah, exactly. They're the Arsenal of, for all you soccer fans out there, they're the Arsenal of the NFL. I'm picking Green Bay. Their offense is lights out. Their defense, tons of question marks, but I think their defense is strong enough to handle that completely. I don't even know what the word was. They decapitated, but technically
Depleted.
Depleted is also a good word, but even that I don't know. Anyways, Garbage is good. Horrible is even better.
O-line, yeah.
Green Bay.
Yeah, you basically covered everything. I'm gonna go Green Bay in this one. Green Bay rarely loses at Lambeau. So.
That's another thing. They're in Lambeau. So, yeah, Packers for both of us. Next game. Next up, we got your division up. We got the Kansas City Chiefs, who beat my Eagles last week, against the Los Angeles Chargers. I got it right this time.
Who might move to San Diego.
Exactly. Who might soon become the San Diego Chargers again next season.
Hopefully.
So we'll see what happens. Move back to Oakland South.
Yeah.
And maybe Vegas South in a few years.
No.
Go ahead.
As much as I would really want the Chargers victory, I just don't see it happening. I don't know if you saw last week, but when
I was watching the game where they beat us, the Chiefs.
No. I'm saying with the Dolphins going into. No, just listen. The Dolphin fans invading that's 20,000 people.
Bill Burr was at the game. He said it was one of the best football experiences he's ever had because of how little people there was. He's like, there's barely traffic. He's like, they got to enjoy the game. He's like, that's how the NFL used to be back in the day. That was the capacity back then.
I know, but I'm saying right now, I'm just saying that like Kansas City fans will overflow that stadium. I mean, they're not Oakland fans where basically the whole stadium's black, but you know, there's gonna be a lot of red. It's basically gonna be an away game for the Chargers.
The Sims wearing black, not black.
Yeah, wearing black. Sorry. Anyways,
I'm gonna go politically clear for all the idiots watching this that don't know how to read between the lines and understand your. Go ahead.
Anyways, I'm gonna pick Kansas City. They're obviously much better than the Chargers, and they should be one of the favorites to win the division. While the Chargers are just keeping on charging. So, go ahead.
I'm gonna pick the Chiefs as well. My boy Andy Reid being low.
You can't say Jerry Mack.
I was about to say J Mac, but he's in Baltimore now, back in the East Coast, close to home. The Chiefs put up a heck of a fight against us. It was a good defensive battle for the first half. Second half was an offensive battle. Travis Kelce just basically tore our defense to shreds at the end. And not really, but he had a pretty solid, productive. Yeah, anyways. Chiefs for me. Chargers are just, they're coming up close, but they're choking out games. And the Chiefs know how to close them out. And Andy Reid does that better than most coaches. So, he has a better record the last 15 years than your franchise has in the last 15 years, right? Anyways, next game.
So for Sunday night football, we got my Oakland Raiders finally we got some recognition. Heading into Washington to play your
Come on.
Deadskins. Or Foreskins. Whatever you want to call them.
I like the Deadskins.
Besides their actual name. The Washington Redskins. At FedEx Field. I can't pick. Make your pick.
I'm gonna pick the Raiders to win this game. Washington sucks. And just a little question. Shout out to the world. Shout out to the NFL. Shout out to you. Not really shout, but just trying to get everyone's attention here. How did every team in my division get a prime time game before the Eagles do? How does the Raiders get a prime time game for my teams? Please, without saying because you. Okay, like I don't understand what is happening in the NFL. Okay, but maybe that's why the ratings are down, guys. You might want to put the best team in the division on prime time more often than the other fucking teams. Not to mention, Dallas is what? This is their third prime time game in 3 weeks? Okay? Second at least. The Giants have had 2.
It's their second
right?
Last week they're on America's Game of the Week.
Of course.
Against Denver.
If they're not the prime time, they're the Americans' Game of the Week. Okay? Fuck off. Raiders for me. What do you want to say fast? For a barf.
I want to see a Marshawn Lynch away touchdown. That's all I want to see, baby.
Alright, next game. Alright, for the last matchup, Monday Night Football, we got the Dallas Cowboys, big surprise, going to Arizona to play the Cardinals. What do you got?
A lot of controversy surrounding the Cowboys, but the Cardinals don't look too good, especially without David Johnson. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys on this one. I know I think I already know your pick, but regardless, I'm going to go with the Cowboys to get a hard-fought W.
Pick the Cardinals to win. Zeke proved why he's a scumbag last week. Gives up on the play. Of course, doesn't go his way. Fuck off. Alright, Dez couldn't catch shit. Dakota didn't know what fucking way was left or right. He was a moron, and yes, he was overwhelmed by arguably one of the best defenses in football. However, they are the Dallas Cowboys, and this is not a shock to me. This is something that can and will occur more often against lesser defenses. Hence, the Arizona Cardinals, which are in dire need of a win. Prime time, Bruce Arians, boom, W, get back on track. Show the Cowboys that they're not that good. They go fuck themselves. I hate everybody, and that's my pick. Cardinals for me.
That was a mouthful, but Zeke I think is gonna come back stronger than ever.
Yeah, okay.
Need a soup.
Yeah, the breakfast soup with the O's. Yeah. Anyways, guys, that's it for predictions for Week 3. Join us next week for Week 4. Like I said, the picks are all there at the times, so you don't have to watch this whole meaningless bullshit if you don't actually want to. Hopefully, we will be joined by one or both of our colleagues, Johnny or Eric, next week. I doubt it. We're still trying to figure out the podcast time and what the subject matter is really going to be involving football, because just summarizing it doesn't seem like a whole lot to talk about for a little bit, so we're trying to figure something out. So keep an eye out for that. Subscribe. We really appreciate the love. Smash that like. Leave your picks down in the comments below. I love to read them. And share the video with your friends, guys. We really appreciate the I don't even know the words. I already said that. I'm trying to figure something else. Anyways, guys, we really appreciate the effort you're trying to make the support to help the channel grow, because it's really staggering a bit. But that's mostly because I'm lazy to put out content, and I'm gonna change that very soon. So at least I'm being honest with you guys, unlike some YouTubers out there, which you don't get elsewhere but here. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. We will see you all for Week 4 of the NFL. See you next week.